Okay, recap for Tuesday, the 18th of November 2025, right? This was a messy day, right? Initially, as I thought, it's gonna be, like I said yesterday, we kind of just gonna have kind of a consolidation, right? I don't expect much for today. And it kind of did that, but it did deliver on sell side, right? So let me explain real quick and let me get rid of these. That makes sense. Let's explain real quick. To get rid of replay, I just wanted to say Asia, right, goes above new daily opening gap, right, manipulates above it and then drops lower, right? So let's get rid of replay because it's gonna put the new daily opening gap here. Anyway, so now we know that. Let's explain the day. As you can see, it just looks messy by itself. What really happens is at 9:30, right? Let's actually get back to replay. 9:30, right? Around 9:30 basically. Here, what liquidity do we have? Okay, is the question. We have Asia low. Is that Asia? That's London. Why do I have it tagged like this? Yeah, it's London low. I don't know. Alright, we have a London low, London high, right? So we in between London range. I never like this because then I actually don't really know where we're gonna go, right? It's messy. If, for example, because here London takes Asia low, right? It's this nice sweep. If we expand above this, right, we're gonna be bullish for the day. But if we don't, then it's bearish. It's hard to know at 9:30 what we're really gonna do, right? So that's why I say low probability. Again, we have buy side, buy side, buy side, buy side, right? At this current time, all that buy side is there on both this and regular um trading hours, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buy side, okay, and we have one, two sell sides, right? And I'm talking in terms of daily range inside, right? So we should be going to buy side, right? So now we have 4 to 2 because the first thing we do is we open, we come lower, makes relative equal lows with the initial sell side. We go up, take the initial buy side, right? So now at this time we have this, right? And here I'm looking at ES doesn't take it. I didn't look at YM to be fair. And YM is not even close, right? So now looking at it, I'm there like, okay, what's the higher time frame narrative, right? Because I'm like I said yesterday, I'm bearish, right? So the daily we come from like an internal. So technically we should be going to an external. However, we already took this liquidity, right? So let me put this out. I just want to make sure that let's put this in red. Just want to make sure that we're already taking it out. Yeah. So that liquidity will already take out, right? Pre-market. So there is a potential that we could go higher. Okay. There's a potential. But at this rate, we don't know. Right? So 4 hour at that current time is telling me nothing, right? It was up here. It didn't take that low yet. So it's telling me nothing. The 1 hour at that current time is right here, right? It's telling me nothing again, right? So there's not much other than that we invest this gap, but we might want to hold this or something, right? However, the 15 minutes, right? The last thing that I can see London is going all the way up, respecting this gap, right? And then coming down, right? And on top of that, if we're looking at the 5 minute, you can see the last thing is we have this last civvy, right? And bodies are not going above this, right? Even when we sweep above, right? So let's just put above here, we go and we go straight back down. that is just bearish, right? So now I'm bearish, right? And why? When I'm bearish, that means okay, even though we have that much buy side, that means like the market is going for a high frame narrative type of sell side. So I'll go on the daily and see what's the next objective. Other than this, then we have this low, right? So I'll mark that low and I'm like, okay, that's the target potentially for today. Okay, see how hard it was to get kind of the narrative because there's this and that and that and whatever, right? So, and we're chilling, accumulating our midnight open. So now we can just see this new range of just accumulation here. We manipulate it to that high, and now we're starting the distribution, right? So I put a limit order on the first presented fair value gap. Once we go above it, once we make it, inverse it, hold it, and then go and close below it. This candle pissed me off so much, right? Because it goes all the way down. It was here, and in 2 seconds, it comes back and closes in the range, right? Then we wick above, right? Open here and then go, right? I put a limit, trying to sell short. Why? Because this now makes very much sense to liquidity. It could reverse from here. I don't know. It could just like do some BS, but that was a nice target to take, but it didn't give it to me. On top of that, it goes all the way up now, gives me the actual entry, which is common to do. But then now I don't know, because at this rate, like we have an SMT, I think, right? Yeah, we have an SMT with that low. I'm not too sure. There's like too many I don't knows, right? But if I'm just sticking with what the price is telling me is bearish, just take the bear, right? And then aim for lower, right? Especially the fact here, I'm gonna show this narrative, right? Once we go, like, watch this, right? We take this low, okay? Then we make a lower low sweeping, and then we expand higher, right? This should have never been broken, right? This should have held price to go higher, but we actually react to the first presented and then inverse it. So the only sell that I could see here is selling into this big order block, into this mini fair value gap on the 15, and like stop loss above here, I guess, which is high, but of course we're not going that much. And then honestly, TP1 at this and TP2 honestly all the way to the low, because if price wants to go lower, that's the only place that is seeking, right? That's the only place that is seeking. You see, that would have worked, but I took the long and then realized, yo, why the hell did I flip my buys for no reason, right? Like, I was gonna short regardless, and I was gonna hold even lower, but it's the fact that it didn't give me my entry, but then it comes back and gives me the entry later, right? Creating his own order block or whatever, right? And then goes lower. This is what I'm saying. It's tough, right? And this day is typically a day that would reverse, right? Why? Because again, at this time, look how much sell side and buy side we have left internally, right? For this day, it doesn't count. One more important thing. This day, right? At by like 10, we do not reach our opening range gap, right? Wait, what? Did I get this wrong? Opening. Oh yeah. Yeah. I didn't even look properly. That's the close. That's the opening price. Yeah, I didn't even look at this properly. Am I confused? I'm definitely confused. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. What was I looking at earlier then? What the hell was I looking at earlier? There's no way I didn't look at that. I must have plotted something wrong, right? Because to me, once we this closing price, this opening price, yeah. Did I put it at? I'm not sure where I put it, but wherever I put it, is we didn't reach the lower quadrant. And I don't know why I put that. I don't know why I had that in my head. If I knew that, then we were chilling. Okay, you guys forget what I was saying, right? We reached the CE, right? The CE of the stupid range. Okay, we reach the we're all in discount, and then we reach the liquidity here. Now we take it, and now we hit the CE of the range, of the opening range, and then drop lower. That is bearish. That is just bearish, right? I thought we just left it open. That is so stupid of me, right? Regardless, this day, once we go down, it's still bullish later. Why? Because at this time, if we're looking, when I'm cleaning the chart, what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buy side, right? Left for this day, for this session, right? So now once we hit the main liquidity, as you can see, and you know we'll make it because we like flirting with it, right? Big candle comes down, then it has to be a big candle going up, right? Right there, that's just reversing it, right? And honestly, you're trying to like just seek whatever inside the range, right? Like it could reverse all the way, it could, and it could save it for another day. And as you can see, today it was going for it because like kind of a market maker buy model. However, as you can see here that I have marked in red, is the market structure was not gonna allow for it today to just zoom, because look, we're in a fair value gap, order block, right? 15 minutes, yes, there's nothing, right? That we had the market structure shift here, sure, but I'm pretty sure like midpoint of this wick, you see right there, you know. So like now we have them two levels. Price has to respect this and go lower. Doesn't have to go all the way low, but in this model itself, this is its own model. Once it accumulates here near lunchtime, or around it, it has to go all the way down to the swing low. So if this went on one move, it would go all the way down to here, the swing low or the wick, and normally there'll be an SMT. So let me just show you it. Right there, you see we take the low, NQ goes to the wick, right? Oh my god, what the hell happened to the chart? What the hell happened to the chart? Right, we go to the wick, right? Boom, that's enough. That's engineering liquidity. That's literally the job of it. And you'll see with this going down, we should not disrespect any further, any, right? No closure above at all, right? Respect, I mean bearish. And then this is just straight. This is how you know it's fake, because it doesn't make big fair value gaps, right? If it's going to go all the way to the low, and you can see we disrespect this first one, right? These two together, close below, above it. That's just a sign. Again, that will start like your first stage for this market maker buy model, right? Which ultimately should end here, right? And I'm guessing it failed today from what I've seen, because price could not get above the first presented fair value gap. If you see any of that, that should just be like, just kill the trade, right? However, you're trying to like this buy, whatever. That's the direction of the bias for today once the higher time frame bias has been done. Okay. And I'm guessing that we have to SMT that. Yeah, we do. So ES takes it, need kill the trade right there. You know what I'm saying? And NQ doesn't need to take it for today. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Do we even respect the break after? Nope, we do not. You can see we go back down, and I'm guessing that we're going to take the relative equal lows that we made earlier. No, that's just the start of this day. I'm guessing that's where we're going to go, right? This low is too sweet. It's too good. It's too juicy, right? These relative equal lows need to be done, right? So now we're making relative equal lows, you know what I'm saying, to be taken for this day. Overall, weird day, right? I can't lie, weird day. I should have not. I knew it was low probability, right? I woke up looking at my phone. I was like, "Ah, this is low probability." Everything said low probability. This was the only setup, right? And I went against it, and then I don't know why I didn't just switch the. I don't know. I switched my bias. That's just stupid, right? Clearly, accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution lower to this. Or if I just waited, this was the most obvious trade ever. Here here or whatever. Right? There's definitely something to trade here. It's just low probability, and then I wouldn't like put like life on the line on this, right? Maybe lower risk day, take lower risk, and then just aim for the obvious, right? So yeah. So now that we have our AM done, don't need this, don't need that. We have our Asia liquidity that will open, so I don't care about any of them liquidities. We need to see what happens for tomorrow. What I think tomorrow is gonna do, honestly, the fact that we already went to this low is a bit, you know, questionable, right? We're still respecting bearish. I can't tell if we want to go all the way here as of now, just for the fact that Tuesday actually went lower. I expected us to like work a bit higher than because we have NFP, right? I haven't seen news in a long time, and I don't know what they're gonna do with NFP, right? So I don't know. I'm gonna just take tomorrow out when I see it. Whatever happens, happens type of day, right? I have this liquidity, all these relative equal highs on my mind or whatever, right? But I don't mind them to just not care about them. We could actually just keep going lower, right? Take this low now for tomorrow. And then just have NFP just shoot us back up and to take the liquidities back or something. I don't know. We could do whatever. I couldn't really care. I'm just gonna try catch the piece of the pie. Um, Anything simple. But yeah, this was definitely a low probability day. You can clearly see once we reach this, we get stalled so much, creating relative equal highs, bro. You know what I'm saying? Um, in itself, this is looking like an original consolidation, right? And just basically a market maker sell model where we're gonna just sell off and then I'm guessing come back later for it. Okay, so that's what I think is probably gonna happen. But yeah, I should not be trading these days, or I should be like chilling out. Like it's kind of obvious. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get this right. It's kind of obvious, right? The first presented after it visited. Like I could have done anything, maybe even drop down on the 15-second after the reaction. I was patient enough with it, and then probably there's another 15-second gap the second I hit it. So once we go here, once we're like okay sweep, rather than taking the buy, had to confirm first if it goes above it. That would have been an easy buy. If it doesn't, as you can see here, reacts lower, as you can see, this gap, take it, or wait for the whole structure to be broken, take this gap, right? Stop loss above like somewhere here, and then just lay it right? Just kind of be brain dead with it. The trend is your friend type of bullshit, right? Jump in the middle, right? Because I normally try to catch the lowest low or the highest high. Like this market right now is not giving all that, but yeah, that's the market recap. Peace out.